Bom dia from Portugal. I am still in the camper van. I will be here for a little while longer. A few more weeks, though I think I might transition to a tent before I leave. We're now in February, which is hard to believe because growing up in Canada, where this was the coldest part of the whole year, I am looking out my window and it is sunny. It's well above zero. Though it does get very cold at night and it does hover around zero. So I think last night might have gone down to like 3 degrees. And generally, when it's really hot and sunny during the day, it's incredibly cold at night, which is counter to what you might expect. Because in a city, when it's really hot during the day, all the concrete gets warmed up and then it's warmer at night. But in the country, that doesn't happen. And yesterday we had a lovely Imbolc ceremony, which apparently I've been saying it wrong my whole life. Apparently you don't pronounce the B, so it's Imbolc. I'm not sure how much you pronounce all the other letters. And I think that I might be saying it all wrong. But I also kind of figured I was saying all of the names of the sort of Celtic festivals wrong because I don't really know very much of Celtic languages. This was my first time celebrating Imbolc with other people because it's a time of year that's very quiet. It's not a very well-known pagan holiday. It's the time that's halfway between the winter solstice and the spring equinox. So it's that sort of turning point where the days are getting longer. We're having the little, well, here, because I'm in Portugal, it actually fits with what I had learned about the holiday from sort of like Celtic paganism. Is that now is when there's new flowers are starting to sprout and the little signs of spring are on its way. In Canada, not so much. You might get some crocuses if you're lucky, but for the most part, that doesn't happen yet. That usually happens much later. So yesterday on my way to the ceremony, we had it just around sunset. I was picking the flowers along the way. I made sure to pick like sort of one of each flower that I found along the way. We made a little altar with a nice stone slab, some candles, fresh flowers, and I think someone even brought some bread. And we had things laid out on, there's like a stone and then like a few sort of slices of tree, some like tree slices, laid out that we put things on. And then we sat around the fire pit and talked about what we know about this time of year and what's sort of on our minds about it. And we sang some songs in sort of celebration of new beginnings and nature. We brought out one of those like metal drums that looks like a turtle and played that. I started to try to play it, but I have never really played one of those before, so I had not developed any skill whatsoever. So I played it a little bit, but I didn't really know what I was doing. And Dennis, who it's his, he's played it a bunch, so he started playing with it, and right away, you can tell he's played with it more than once. And so he was playing that. I started improvised singing. Someone else was joining us in singing, and then before long, I noticed that the birds actually. All the birds in the trees started like coming towards us and started like singing along. I'm not sure what's happening with my microphone. I've taken this off in case this had something to do with it. I'm not sure. But it started making some weird sounds, so I'm not really sure what's going on with my microphone, but it seems to be okay now. Hopefully it was just the cover. So I apologize if that's coming through on the video. Right. Oh, we also, right. So there was like all the birds came and sang with us. And that was really cool. Like the wind started like moving through the trees. Like it felt like we were connecting with nature and nature heard us. Who knows what was actually happening, but that's how it felt. We also made ourselves these ivy wreaths. So we all had our little wreaths of ivy, and that makes everything instantly more festive when you have a little wreath of some sort of tree or bush or vine. Yeah, it was really nice. As I said, I'd never really celebrated this with anyone before, so it was really novel, if nothing else, to be celebrating nature with other people and have it not just be like a solitary me lighting a candle and thinking about things. So that was really cool, and that was just yesterday. And on the weekend, we had a really great time. There was a community forest clearing event, so a lot of the grounds here have been covered in brambles, and for like 20 years. So a lot of it has been cleared, but you have to kind of keep clearing, and there are a few areas that haven't really been touched yet. So we went to an area that hadn't really been touched yet, and we were just clearing all of that and raking things up together. And then after all of that, we had a pizza party. Dennis had made like a ton of pizza dough and was sort of the pizza master. And so we just had, one pizza at a time. And each pizza was like, not a huge pizza. But what we ended up doing was cooking one pizza at a time, slicing it up, and we each would have like a piece and munch and put another one in, and then a few minutes later we'd have another piece. And so it just kind of seemed like this sort of endless pizza night. So we had pizza, there was some wine, we were having good conversation, just the whole community, everyone gathering around. And by community, I mean there's the family who are co-owners of the land, and then there's an older couple who also live here. There's someone else who is in the process of moving here, and there was another couple who has a farm about an hour away from here, and there might have been more, and then there was like me and the other workaway volunteer, and so it was quite a full house, and we were just having a really great time swapping stories and getting to know one another. It was really good pizza, and eating one piece at a time slowly just seemed to be like the perfect pace to be able to just continuously do it. So I'm glad that at a certain point someone made the executive decision to stop, because if it was up to me, we wouldn't be stopping until there was no pizza left. So that was Saturday, and up until Saturday, I spent most of my time clearing brambles and helping in the garden and just being outside pretty much all day, and then I would come inside for the evening when it got too cold. And yeah, it's just been a really nice time of disconnection from technology and stress and reconnection with nature and community, which I think is exactly what I needed coming from London, doing my degree, a very intellectual pursuit, and where I'm all thinking and memorizing and working really hard, and then such a contrast to then come out into the country and just exist and enjoy the very basics of life. So yeah, it's been a great week. I am so glad, even though it is very cold at night and very cold in the morning, it's really nice throughout most of the days, and I feel great eating all organic food and just enjoying nature, being out digging in the dirt every single day. Surrounded by smiling faces who are just eager to be supportive of one another. And that's great. This has been really lovely, and I'm so glad I have another couple weeks of this. I hope your beginning of February has been not too cold, or if it has been cold, I hope you've been cozy. I'll check in with you again next week. Bye!